Hello, this is the Watchdog, and welcome back to Fun with Watches. If watches weren't fun, you'd only need one. Today we're going to review the Cadisen C7064. Let's start with the wrist check. I'm wearing this Phil Never CY1302, and Greg was wearing my Watchdog's WD007. Grogu said that Princess Leia was sick of living on Tatooine with all the Sarlacc pits everywhere. Plus, she wanted to live closer to the Jedi Academy so she could visit Ben more often. Han Solo found a house owned by Mon Mothma's sister Mabel that had an assumable mortgage. Master Skywalker advised them to look for different financing. He said with an assumable loan, you make an ass out of you and Mabel. All right, let's take a look at the watch. And it comes in a different box than the typical Cadisen. This is the first time I've seen a Cadisen come in this box. So that's kind of different, unexpected. And here is the watch. Isn't that a good looking watch? I like it. I've been happy with it so far. Another Cadisen on my channel. One would think they were going for an Omega Speedmaster look, but in actuality, they're trying to look more like a Moonswatch, which of course resembles a Speedmaster. So this is an homage of an homage. The biggest aesthetic difference between the Swatch and the Omega is the top Swatch subdial set at the 10 and 2 instead of the 9 and 3. This Cadisen has the VK68 movement, which keeps that 10 and 2 layout. Other than the dial layout and the movement, there's quite a bit of difference between this and the Moonswatch. First of all, we have a solid steel case instead of bioceramic, which is a fancier plastic. Plus, for some reason, Swatch thought Velcro was a good idea for a strap. Cadisen saved you the time of changing it to a double pass by just including it on a double pass to begin with. Then there is the price. I paid a measly $35 for this Cadisen, where a basic Moonswatch is $270. Unlike the Moonswatch, this Cadisen only comes in 3 different colorways. The black on black I chose is the same as the Mission to the Moon. The brown on tan is the same as the Mission to Saturn. Then there is a black bezel and white dial that doesn't have a Moonswatch equivalent, so we'll call it the Mission to Neverland. The watch is 39.6 millimeters if you measure at the bezel, and the bezel is a little bit smaller than the case. It's 47.5 millimeters lug to lug. It's 14.6 millimeters thick if you include the double pass, 12.1 if you do not. Has a 20 millimeter lug width and weighs 80 grams on the supplied canvas double pass strap. The bezel has a tachymeter, and since this is a Meca-Quartz with a large second chronograph hand, the tachymeter is actually usable. And then we have the dial, and the dial does have a sunburst effect. It's kind of light, but the sunburst effect on the subdials is serious. And then we have the minute markers, and we have baton indices. We have the Cadisen logo up top, applied with the Cadisen name. It says Japan movement on the bottom. Then on the left here, it says Sky Explorer. And then on the right here, you can't see it because it's a minute hand, it says Chronograph. And then we have the stick hands, or I guess they're small fence post hands, and they are loomed, but the loom's very poor. Then we have the large second chronograph hand with the little tip, and that is loomed, and that's not very well loomed either. In fact, the loom on this watch is total garbage. You'll see that later. And then we have the subdials. We have the right subdial, which is a 24-hour indicator. I don't know why Seiko insists on doing that. It would be nice if they would have used the other subdial for maybe an hour counter for the chronograph or something like that, but they didn't. They say it's because Japan, they have a lot of office workers who work long hours, and they want to know what time of day it is. Then we have the running second hand on the bottom, and it's nice to have a running second hand, because if you have a VK64, you don't get a running second hand at all. Then on the left, we have the chronograph minute counter. We have a signed push-pull crown. And then we have the pushers. The pushers are just smooth because they look like the Moonswatch pushers. Of course, they don't fall apart on you like the Moonswatch pushers do. And then we have the crystal. The crystal's flat and it's glass. I used my diamond tester. It did not come up as sapphire. And then we have the case. The case is solid steel and it's brushed with polished chamfered edges. The case is very nice. They did a good job with the case. And once again, it's nice to get solid steel rather than plastic as the real moon swatch. And then we have the case back. I'll also mention there is no date, but this movement has a date, so we have a ghost date. I wish they would have put a date in there. Yes, I know the real moon swatch doesn't have a date, and the real Omega moon watch doesn't have a date either, but the reason the Omega doesn't have a date is it just adds more complication to a movement that's already very complicated. So I just wish they would put them on anything quartz with a movement. I just prefer having a date. All right, then we have the case back. We have the Cadisen logo in the middle, and it says Cadisen here. Water resistant 5 ATM, so you get 50 meters of water resistance, which is the same as a real Omega. Gives the model number, and then it says all stainless steel. And this is a screw-down case back, not a press-on. Underneath the case back is the VK68 movement. This is basically a VK63 with the subdials a little bit higher. So they're symmetrical. And once again, they use this instead of the VK63 because that way it looks more like the moon swatch and not this actual Speedmaster. And this is a Meca-Quartz watch, so what you do is you press the top pusher, and then the large second chronograph hand starts ticking 5 times a second. Press it again to stop, then press the bottom and you get an instant snapback. Then we have the strap. The strap is a double pass. We can't call them NATO straps because somebody owns the trademark for that, and they will sue you if you use it. Poor Mark from Island Watch got sued by them for saying he was selling NATO straps. And it's canvas, and it's okay. It's not a great strap. The canvas is kind of rough. It's not very comfortable. The hardware is simple. It's not a horrible strap. It's just not a very good one either. If I was to keep this watch, I would change the strap and get a little bit nicer one. Here's the watch on my 7.5-inch wrist. That looks nice. It wears nice. Of course, it's on a double pass, so it sits a little high. But it's a good looking watch, especially for $35. Here's the watch on a Vario camouflage double pass. This is a nice strap. It gives a little flair to the watch. And here it is on a Pagani Design Bond double pass. I have a million of these straps because Pagani Design used to always send it me as a bonus. But that's very nice looking. And there's no law that says this has to be on a double pass. So here it is on a Vario Italian leather strap. And see, it doesn't wear near as high that way since it's not on a double pass. And that looks very nice too. So yeah, you can wear this with just about anything. Here we are in the lume room. Unfortunately, the lume on this watch is even worse than I expected, as you will see in this test. As we speed up the time, the hands disappear immediately. The indices don't last much longer. This is as bad as a sub-$10 watch you get on AliExpress. What I like about this watch is it has a nicely shaped solid steel case. Has a VK68 movement that is different than the VK63, which has the higher subdial, so it actually looks like the moon swatch. And it's very reasonably priced at $35. What are my gripes and groans? The lume is just downright horrible. This double pass strap is fairly simple, and it could have been nicer. And they only have 2 of the Moon Swatch colorways. So it would have been nice if they had more choices for those who want a Moon Swatch look. Do I recommend the swatch? Sure. You can actually buy 4 of the Moon Swatch models online now, but you're spending $270 for plastic and Velcro. Why not spend $35 on solid steel? Well, thank you for watching my review of the Cadisen C7064, and I'll be back with another review. Be sure to like and subscribe to my channel. And if you like this watch, be sure to use my affiliate link and I'll get a tiny commission, but those tiny commissions do add up. And I would like to thank my Members Choice members. Hopefully this list will grow and then I can get some nicer watches on this channel. And if you're interested in joining, be sure to watch my Members Choice video. Bye.